Welcome to another episode, Pound for Pound Boxing Report, episode 175. I'm your host, Michael. Joining me this week, Gail from Communities Digital News, Bo from Truth and Facts, Scorsese, Jacob from Jab Hook, Daniel from the Inscriber. What's going on, ladies and gents?
It's been a rough week,
Hello.
ladies and gentlemen.
Beautiful night. Beautiful night.
My son is driving me crazy.
For those who are new to Pound for Pound Box Report, Pound for Pound Box Report, once again, live YouTube show as well as podcast and blog talking all things boxing. The motto is when boxing is good, we will talk about it. When boxing is bad, we will talk about it. Bottom line is, if it concerns boxing, we will talk about it. If you want to find out all things about Pound for Pound Boxing Report, one main place you want to go to, that's the blog page, p4pboxingreport.wordpress.com is the link. Check the right of the page, you'll find the links to our pages and channels on G+, YouTube, Tumblr, Twitter, Google Plus as well, and also links to where to listen to us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher Radio, Player FM, as well as SoundCloud. Let's get the show started this evening. Recapping what went down last week, I want to focus on one fight took place in the UK. Two rising junior welterweight prospects, Ohara Davies, Josh Taylor, a former Olympian. A lot of bad blood going into this. But at the end of the day, in spite of Ohara Davis's tough talk pre-fight, he really got exposed here. Davis got exposed here. Joshua Taylor stopped him in 7. Far as I was concerned by watching the fight, pretty much had his way throughout. The southpaw style, the jab, the movement. Had Davis looking really amateurish, throwing wild punches. He knocked down Davis with a beautiful right hook in the 7th round, a follow-up assault. And Davis, to me, he turned his back on Taylor. And Century kind of gave it in and said, I don't want any more. So Taylor with the emphatic win. And like I said, Davis was exposed here. Looked like a real novice here. Go to you, Scorsese, because you have never been a fan of Davis from jump. I think you might have predicted this on Twitter that Taylor was going to beat him. So yeah, talk about it.
Man, it was so easy to see that this dude. It wasn't even exposed that night. He was exposed the first time I ever seen him in the ring, and they was touting him as a prospect. Like he takes, he's an orthodox fighter, so most people they take a step forward in a boxing stance and they take 2 steps. He take 3 steps. His left foot go first, his ass come next, and then his right foot follow. I don't know what the hell going on with the man footwork. It's a crying shame. No, it ain't a crying shame. It's a damn comedy routine. That's what it is. And all the shit he talked to go with it, that's the opening act. And all of it is just one big joke. No, don't spare Ohara Davies no sympathy here. Josh Taylor did a great job kicking on his ass. It was easy. He could catch and shoot him on the inside. I'm not going to say easy. He was in the hardest fight he had today. Okay, you can give Davies that. He could probably punch some. But Bo pointed out before his balance, things I've been talking about, take a lot off his punches. And it ain't his stance don't say I can get back in the gym and correct this. His stance actually say, bro, that's just you and you just stuck with it. He fight like opening a door, like folding a chair. Like this shit, I don't know if y'all see what I see. I see in objects and nouns and things like that. I don't know. But he reminds me of a door opening and closing with a that's how he fights. And it's sick to watch. It was easy for Josh Taylor to probably just to look at a tape one time and say, I'm going to beat this kid to death. Catching and shooting him beautifully on the inside. He lucky Taylor wasn't stepping around his lead foot and just beating the hell out of him. He lucky that didn't happen a lot. He didn't have to. I was watching just pieces of the fight because there wasn't no need to watch the whole thing. I knew the result. I missed it live because I went to sleep on the stream. I knew the result. Came back. I said, now let me see why this went down. Why all of this went down. And I saw right from jump. Just this dude wasn't even. He said, forget using the angle on you that I can use. You giving me any foot advantage I want because you're terrible feet. But you also leave your hands by your waist and you ratchet up every punch you throw. as far as people who think they world level or might be close to whatever, Davies might be the worst one out of all the bunch. It ain't no getting back in the gym, getting better. I don't see it, man. No, no, his body ain't built to box. He looked like he got sciatica like I used to have. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but every time I watch the man fight, I wonder myself, and I'm not joking, did this man really, even when he was sitting on the canvas with his legs stretched out, it looked like he couldn't. It looked like if you told him to reach and touch your toes that he couldn't. Just go look at the picture. He just looked afflicted, man, and that's why I never been saying nah, he ain't gonna last. But congrats
And
to
I
the other guy though, Taylor. Real nice prospect. Keep going, see what he got.
Okay, I'll open it up for anybody else, anyone here who saw the fight. If you did, your comments on Taylor's stoppage win over Ohara Davis.
Well, I think the number one thing we saw was flat out experience. Taylor has that amateur background. Howard Davis never had an amateur background in his show. Um, Taylor has, by being in the amateurs, he's developed a certain amount of ring IQ that O'Hara Davis did not show. And a little inside joke, O'Hara Davis was confident that he would be able to beat Josh Taylor. And I actually thought at some point he thought he could punk Josh Taylor, and Josh Taylor showed him differently. So, I mean, I think, look, any fighter, if he's committed, dedicated enough, looks at it and openly admits where he was wrong at, can go back to the drawing board to start all over again. Okay, uh, uh, you have another situation where Davies believed in his power, because you can tell from the opening bell, he just figured he could just outmuscle and use his power and beat down Josh Taylor, which wasn't the case. And then
Yeah,
Josh Taylor went to the body. He started going to the body early. Davies took a stance. He took that John the Beast Mugambi, what I call the puncher stance. But it allows you to punch hard, but it doesn't allow you to counter very well or move out of the way a punch is coming back at you. So, I mean, what we saw in my mind was we saw again, inside joke, a very confident dude face someone who's extremely experienced and gifted. And the confident guy got shown that, okay, it's a little bit more than what I thought it was here. And listen, I wasn't very high on Josh Taylor or O'Hara Davies. But I believe with my eyes what my eyes saw. And what Josh Taylor showed me was, I think from the moment, and I did an interview with one of the guys from UK, from the moment Josh Taylor saw Howard Davis, he said, listen, I could beat this kid. But that, again, that comes from that amateur background that he had. And based off his amateur background and what he saw in that ring, he knew there's no way this dude could beat me. So I believe now, the only part I disagree with is I think that if he goes back to the drawing board and start from scratch, because he is young enough, gets with the right trainers, you can train him. But it's going to be hard because this is something he's never had. And then the mental aspect, where is he mentally? He talks like he's okay, but where is he mentally? But yeah, he definitely needs some training.
Hip replacement. Oh, I thought I finished your point. You said trainer.
I'll just open up for anyone who saw the fight. I see EJ Boxing Live is joining us. Thanks for joining us on the show. We're talking to Josh Taylor, his stoppage over O'Hara Davis. I think you did a lot of coverage on this. EJ, your thoughts on it?
Oh yeah, how you doing, guys? Yeah, man. That was. Hey, listen, that like the whole of like England turned up for that one. They got a lot of views, and it was people want to see if Hara can do it, and Josh Taylor see if he can go on to bigger, better things, and the fight lived up to it, man. I think Hara did pretty well to a certain extent. It wasn't all one way. I was watching it with talking to Spencer from Sky. Toe to toe, and he's good friends with Ohara. And me and him was talking before the hand, and I was saying to him like, I don't know how you guys know about Scotland, but Scotland ain't exactly friendly when it comes to black people, yeah. Especially when you run your mouth. I'm not trying to say like they're racist or anything like that. I'm just trying to say that they're very nationalistic. So anyone they don't, in fact, they don't like England. It's another country. You've got Ireland. You have England and you have Scotland. It's another country, and they don't really like too much in English, especially you run your mouth like Ohara did. And so when Eddie Murphy, when Eddie, when Eddie's layover, bro, when Eddie put the offer to Ohara, I said to Spencer, I don't care how much money you're gonna pay me, I ain't going down there. And you know, he went down there, heard they were spitting on him when he was walking to the ring. They were calling him the N-words and stuff like that. You know, Josh Taylor got extra couple of punches on Ohara. But to be fair, Ohara, you know, if you're hurt like that, you should take a knee or something. One of Josh Taylor's guy ran into him, pushed past Ohara as well. You know, listen, he got his ass whooped. He got beat up. Let's get it right. He got beat up, and he seems like he hasn't learned anything. He's actually saying, no, I'm actually going to continue how I am. That's who I am. I'm a big mouth. I'm going to continue, and that's how he's going on. When it's all said and done, Josh Taylor wants to fight Ricky Burns, and that's the fight he wants to look forward to, trying to make a big day. He's trying to knock off Matchroom, because Baron McGuigan and Eddie Hearn, there's no love lost there, because the Frampton situation. Eddie Hearn used to promote Carl Frampton. He wanted to take Carl Frampton away from Baron McGuigan, and so Baron McGuigan doesn't like him because of that. So it seems like Barry Hearn's kind of steering these guys to knock off all the Matchroom fighters. So Sky had some money. They had a lot of money. They put a big bid down, and that's why the fight was in Scotland. But as I said, Ohara, to be fair, he was, you know, we could look at it after and say, well, Ohara, if he won the fight, we'd have said, okay, he's something. But he lost. He tried to be in terms of the Mayweather mold of trying to hype up the fight, and it didn't work out. And, you know, we talk that cash money shit. You have to pay the piper, and that's what he did. You have to pay the piper. And for Ohara, what he does now is a rebuilding thing, you know. But in case of, I don't think you should throw him too far back, but you should put him in there with a known name and see his work. Because when I talked to Eddie Hearn, good 3-4 weeks beforehand, at the press conference, he was saying to us, yeah, that he's putting all of his fighters under the fire and seeing if they're worth to be on his contract. Because Joshua set the bar so high, fighting Vladimir Klitschko in his like 12th fight, wherever it was. Eddie Hearn's looking at the whole of his roster. They should actually take challenges, and that's why that fight actually happened. So you'll be looking for more Eddie Hearn's fighters to be put in the deep end, as to speak, like, you know, with their neck up to water. So there's gonna be more of them on the chopping block. And Ohara's probably got one more fight in him. If he wins, then probably stays in a match. If he doesn't, Eddie will probably chop him. And I've seen it because I was at the York on Saturday. Fighters who were previously with Matchroom, Wally Camacho and Eric Icochan, and they've slid so badly. Both of them lost on the weekend. They got beat up. I'm actually going to the Mayweather press conference tomorrow, actually in a couple of hours, and I'm going to the weigh-in tomorrow for Eubank and Arthur Abrahams tomorrow. The weigh-in's actually in the same place as the Mayweather and McGregor thing. So that's a couple of hours later. So I'll be busy tomorrow, and that's all. Well, I'm kind of tired and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, I can't miss out on my toe boxing with you guys over here, innit? Well, big man, big man Bo over there, and the rest of you guys over there. So yeah, Mike. So that's my take on Ohara Davis and Josh Taylor.
Yeah, okay. I know I was gonna say, I know you have a busy day, so if you have to dip out on us early, by all means, I understand. Are you gonna say something, Bo?
Yeah, I have a question for EJ. That one part where Davies get knocked down and then he gets back up, he points to his eye, but he didn't have the experience to go back down. He turned his back, and was that lack of experience because he turned his back, and that's the universal sign that you don't want to fight no more. And I give him props, like he did. That's his first time ever fighting outside the country. But I mean, would you contribute that to lack of experience, or what happened in that moment?
Yeah, that's the lack of experience. He's an on-top fighter. He used to be on top. He used to getting things his own way. And just like a baby, throw his kids out the pram. He didn't know how to deal with it. He doesn't, you know, I've interviewed, I've talked to Ohara. And, you know, you'll talk to him about Ohara, how you feel about losing. He'll look at me cross-eyed. You know, maybe he'll talk to me properly. Well, not properly. He'll talk to me better now. But yeah, that would be down to experience in the gym. When Ohara doesn't get his own way, he walks out. He walked out. We believe in like old school, like, you know, we turn the clock off and we want to see if you're worth your thing. Bring in different sparring partners until they break you, and then when you're broke, they want to see what you do after you break. Ohara doesn't believe in that. He's like, nah. I'm Ohara. I don't got no time for that. You remember, you know what I'm saying? That's how Ohara is. He's and that's what he showed. There's a lack of experience. I don't think he has. And I honestly, bro, I don't think from that situation. You know, how do you learn from that situation? He's not trying to learn from that situation. He believes he should just be the same. And in that situation, that's how you don't get better, right? Because I was saying to Spence, the fearing should just chop the whole team, break out, come to America, or go somewhere where you can build back yourself into you can learn the craft properly. But he's not saying that. They're going to stay with the same team, and he's going to continue. So yes, bro, that was, in my opinion, it's a lack of experience.
I'll go to you, Daniel and Jacob. I know Gail said she didn't see the fight, so I'll bypass her on this particular topic. So, Daniel and Jacob, if you saw the fight, your assessment of what went down.
I saw bits and pieces of the fight, and everything Scorsese and Bo said is correct in a way. You can tell that Ohara Davies doesn't really pay much attention, at least to the fundamentals. And I will agree that him turning his back probably is a little bit more of an experience than anything. And this was a good comeuppance. He talked a lot of crap to Taylor, and Taylor brought it to him, rightfully. Now, I'm disappointed in the fact that I'm hearing from EJ that O'Hara's not thinking about doing something, anything, to correct this. If he thinks it's going to stay the same, he's going to become pretty much a journeyman soon enough, unless they just give him tomato cans, unless they legitimately Adrian Broner him for a bit, which is going to be to his detriment.
Jacob?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I felt like Taylor invested more in the body, and it seemed like Davies was trying to land the kind of like these. They weren't like set uppercuts; they're kind of like just large uppercuts. And then in that, I know he took a knee in the third round, I think it was, towards the end. But in that seventh round, before he came out, when they had the camera in the corner, he looked like he was tired, like spent. And then he came out and they started talking at each other. And I think the ref told him, stop talking, and then, he got caught with some good shots, and Taylor finished it. And then they kind of had a weird ending because, as, was spoken already, the inexperience, he batted his eye or whatever, but didn't like take a knee. He just like turned his body, and which is big no. Defend yourself at all time. So I mean, it is what it is.
Sorry, Jacob. Go on. You finish real quick. Go on.
No, I mean, I was pretty much done. It is what it is, and we'll see what happens.
I was gonna say the real reason why he turned it back is he couldn't breathe out of his nostrils. That's what Spencer was saying, because he talked to Ohara straight after the fight. He said that Ohara, he couldn't breathe out of his nose. And I don't know, I'm not trying to say Josh broke his nose, but he said he tried to breathe out of his nostrils and he couldn't breathe. That's why he was breathing out of his mouth. And when he turned his back, it was to do with he couldn't get the oxygen through his things, so his nostrils and stuff. So in that case, that's what apparently he said. So I don't know how that factor in, but that's what he said. He said he couldn't breathe out his nostrils for some reason. His airways were closed, and as you know, as a boxer, they breathe out their nose to get to get their rhythm in and stuff like that. So if you're breathing out your mouth, and obviously guys punching him, so that's what he said.
But during the middle of a fight, you can't ever just put your guard down or turn your back if the round's still going. I mean that's how you get popped again. It's dangerous.
Agreed.
So.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. That's what he got. Yeah, well, people enjoyed that in Scotland. They love that shit. They love that. So, hey, that's what I heard anyway. So I just wanted to give you that. Thanks, Jacob. Let me finish saying the piece there.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. I'll go right back to you, EJ. The commentary I was hearing after the fight is Taylor in a potential fight with Ricky Burns. From your perspective, being in the UK, covering UK boxing heavily, is Taylor ready for that kind of step, or is it a little bit too far-fetched at this particular time?
Well, like Conor McGregor says, he ain't gonna do shit. Like, he'll beat the shit out of no, Ricky's slid. He'll beat the shit out of Ricky Burns. Body shots, his body attacks, it's the right time. And Ricky Ricky's been sliding for a while. He had the last thing, he got his world title, and he got beat up by Dongo. Ricky's quite stubborn. You know, he might last distance, but Josh Taylor, Josh Taylor doesn't even fight like a Scottish fight. He fights like a Latin fighter. I wouldn't say Mexican. I was just say Latino fighter. You know, the way he goes to the body is really good. And Ricky Burns. Ricky Burns doesn't want that work. He's already like, he couldn't believe he was being challenged. No one's actually challenged Ricky like that in Scotland, because he's from Scotland. He tried to be respectful, but they were dying for that fight. Like I said, they want to knock off thing. I don't think Ricky would look at Ohara, look at Josh Taylor and say, yeah, I want to fight that, because you remember Ricky's was it a 2-weight champion and two-time champion and stuff like that. And you really, when you're up there like that, you're not looking on some young kids like that or young guy who's calling me out. You kind of look at trying to make another run for a title. So I don't think Ricky, but Ricky did say if you make an offer to Eddie and it's good enough, he'll take the fight. You know, Ricky's not scared of no one. Ricky did say that. So we have to see what happens. But in my opinion, boy, he's going to end the same way as Ohara. Ricky's in good condition and stuff like that, but too much to Taylor's bringing too much to the table. And so if I was Ricky, I'll stay way clear of it. But that fight has a big possibility of happening.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Ricky don't want that work. Ricky does not want that work, because they actually asked him about that after the fight. Get away from that question.
Okay. Look, EJ, when he was talking about the giving his breakdown of the fight, he's talking about how he's going to be at the 2 events tomorrow, Eubank, Abraham, and Mayweather McGregor. Been loath to talk about this fight, quote unquote fight. The presser's been happening this week. Just finished the presser, I think a little bit ago this evening. Because it's been the buzz, even when I'm trying to avoid it, let's talk about it here now for the only time, maybe ever. Look, the presser went down. This presser started Monday, Tuesday, in LA. One in Toronto yesterday. Presser just finished this evening in Brooklyn. I'll just open it up for anyone here who wants to talk about it, because Monday, I mean, look, it was sensationalized. It was crazy. Whatever. I didn't see it Tuesday, but based on what I've been hearing about what went down tonight, of course, Mayweather, he's been saying his stuff. He's been talking his mess, but based on what I heard, the stuff McGregor put off tonight, I'm feeling iffy. I'm not feeling comfortable with what's going down. So if anybody who wants to comment on it, please do.
Well, I'll go first, because this is a boxing show and this is more of a circus and event. So to me, it's not even worth our time.
Go ahead. I'll talk. I'll talk about it. No one wants to talk about it. Man, listen. It looks like they run out of material though today. It looked like they ran out of material in New York. Connor looked like a tearing mad. He got kind of racial out there with his naked chest and just talking crazy with his purple. He got kind of racial out there. But you know what the thing is? Go ahead.
EJ, because I got a couple of questions, because I need some confirmation. Is it true that this dude was up there in a fur coat and some strange, oddly multicolored pants? Is it true that he was essentially black checking, talking about how he's half black and he's black from the waist down?
Yeah, he's
toward his quote unquote black female fans.
Yeah.
If he did that, no, that's unacceptable. That's out of pocket. How dare he portray black folk in that kind of narrow-minded, simple, wrong-headed context? How dare he?
Yeah, but this is the thing. Yeah, this is the border of what it honestly Connor lost material, because he's there talking about Mayweather can't read. And I was thinking, I was trying to say everyone, this is what happens, when you put a mic in the reins. Nah, he's just there, even talking about Mayweather's daughter. Mayweather just kind of kept on this embarrassing Connor. He threw money over him and goes, "You're my bitch." He made it rain. And Connor goes, "What's $1 bills?" Goes, "Yeah, that's all you're worth." I was like, you know what, that was funny. Yeah, that was funny. But also Connor's entourage was getting abusive to Mayweather. So Mayweather's got this word called Matrix, was it Matrix or Guy Rich or something like that? Like the security, like I don't know, like the Transformers, they surround the person. So what he did when he said that name, his security is called the Great Wall, right? So they're all like 7 foot. So when he said that to him, they surrounded Connor. They surrounded him just to intimidate. And it was like the MMA guys was like, yeah, what? So that got a bit kind of funny. Yeah, he said all them stuff, and people been saying that, but I think, to be honest with you, yeah, like, boy, I don't know, they're coming to London, but I think they kind of might dumb it down because obviously Connor abuses Steven Espinosa, calling him a bitch and stuff. I think the two of them are running that material, and it's just to sell the fight. I wouldn't take anything personal. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to hype the thing as much as possible, but I think they might have went too far. I think Toronto was the best one. The flag and the mic and stuff like that. That was all really good to me, in my opinion. And even the first one was interesting. But I think right now that it's gone from a must watch to the thing. This is a bit corny.
I understand hyping the fight. I understand they're trying to make money and they're going to make money. But I just don't like the fact that it's going there. To me, based on what I've read tonight and the little bit of clips that I saw, it's like 2017 Holmes and Cooney.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what happened. That's what it is. It was. Listen, I don't know what fact the crowd didn't enjoy it. The crowd in New York wasn't, because remember they were late as well. I think it was supposed to happen like 3 hours. They were late. The New York crowd wasn't having it. They wasn't like Toronto. They wasn't that infused. The crowd was so it wasn't. So it wasn't big, and the crowd wasn't really digging some of the lines. He gave a Jay-Z DVD to Floyd, and it's like, yeah, what? And it wasn't that good, man. It was corny. It was very corny. So, hey, this is what it is, man. I enjoyed it though. Listen, I'm buying the fight. Just to let you know, and I'm going tomorrow. I reckon tomorrow's gonna be probably dead now. Like, they probably killed the buzz kind of thing.
You know what Floyd should do? You know what Floyd should do? Reach out to Joshua. Reach out to Joshua.
What for?
That's what he should do.
To do what? Joshua ain't coming there to Joshua ain't coming there to be around that stuff. He's got his own brand. Why would he bring Joshua?
Because he's the biggest name in the UK.
Nah. You know what? No. Joshua stay away from. After what he said to today, Joshua don't know part of that. Eddie Evans said, "What are you doing? What are you getting down there?" I think a lot of press after seeing that today, they were like, I don't know, like obviously it's sold out and stuff like that, but I don't know. A lot of people might be thinking, I'm not too sure about that. So they call it England. Over here it's different, Over here, England's not like America. You can't just open up and say certain things like that, man. We're a bit funny like that over here,
In other words, they're not having it. In other words, they're not having it.
He gotta be there. You gotta be there. The U.S. is looking for that big person to get behind after Floyd finally gone. We don't got that person no more. We miss talking about the 900,000 or did it break 1 million? Did it? We might get that every now and then when Chavez decided to come out of retirement and break records. Everybody else ain't breaking. That's just the truth. But we looking for that, and he talking about he want to fight in T-Mobile. Well, you ain't gonna watch the people that's watching Floyd. You ain't gonna. I mean, the people that's watching Floyd, you don't want their eyes on you. You gotta be there. You signing Showtime, you gotta be there. But the person I would like to see there is, like I said, reach out to Ricky Hatton, tell him put the past to the side, and say, hey, he came over here and he acted ass in my country too. But just like with me, he kicked my ass and he gonna kick your ass too. And do that for boxing. Ricky Hatton, swallow the pride. You already put a dress on. You already post drunk pictures all the time. Swallow the damn pride and do it for boxing.
Ricky Hatton can't even put two sentences together. He's recovering alcoholic and cracking. Like he's not sniffing cocaine.
He's training fighters. He's training world champions.
He's always he's sniffing. He's still sniffing. He can't. When you bringing that bum, he looks like Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton looks like he's half dead. You don't want to bring Ricky Hatton out there. I mean, Joshua's more suitable. Ricky, why would Floyd beat other guy that he beat? And furthermore, that's Manchester. We're in London, bro.
So
Ricky Hatton's Manchester. It's like New York. It's like New York and LA. New York and LA. We're talking about different cities, bro.
You're telling me they don't know Ricky Hatton? Come on, man.
No. I'm saying Ricky. Ricky's. If it was Manchester, I'd say that. But we're in London, like Michael Cooper said. Joshua, like me, I live like 30 minutes away from the Wembley Stadium. We don't live that far. If it was going to be anyone, if it was going to be anyone, if it was any, it might be. He might be. I'm just saying, Joshua.
Espinosa gonna have him there.
Bro, Ricky and they come. Or Ricky, that Ricky and his glue snipping stuff.
I know it's not, but that would be
one at a time, gentlemen. One at a time, gentlemen. One at a time.
You could say he came to the United Kingdom just like he did with me years ago, and they've been selling this 20 years in, 21 champions he beat. I'm one of those 21 champions, and they would all know you got history with him. He knocked you in the turnbuckle, and you fell out and you got stopped. and that would be the biggest slap to kind of say this man flew somebody all the way to the kingdom I'm supposed to be, the United Kingdom, and got one out of everybody just to come up here and tell me, he did this to me, and you next. That's it. Because I really think this is a fight. This is how I look at it. So,
bro, you're the worst salesman. You're the worst salesman ever, man. Ain't no one listening to that. Let me tell you something. If you're going to bring anyone out there, you bring relevant people out there. Like, you ain't gonna bring up product you just battered in. Why would you bring Ricky out and be embarrassed? Yeah. Like, you can
give him 20 seconds. He's not there for 20 minutes.
Let me finish what I'm saying. If Jan's done, like, he ain't got time for Ricky. Just training, trying to stay at the limelight. He's recovering alcoholic. He ain't trying to be around that type of thing, because when he's around that, that's when the cocaine starts going out, starts getting the lines out and all that rubbish. He ain't trying to be around that, bro. Let me see, Joshua. You could bring Joshua. Joshua ain't trying to be around. Or what you saw, like what happened? Didn't you hear what Michael just said? What they just said there, kind of that racist kind of thing, and it was border edge corny. No one wants to be around that. It's actually getting to the point where
was the most memorable press conference of the ones that I'm not worried about how the crowd felt. I don't remember anything they said in LA except for bitch. I don't remember anything that happened in Montreal. But tonight I remember I'm the black below the waist. I remember the money thrown at the strip.
You didn't see Montreal? You didn't see Montreal? You didn't see the float to the flag? You didn't see what Floyd to the flag, and Conor was going to throw the money into the crowd. You didn't see that? That was like one of the good sides. That was clean. That was clean entertainment. But what you saw now is fun. Now what you got tonight? No, man. Listen, bro. Listen. The crowd weren't feeling that stuff. Michael. Most people, they ain't feeling that stuff about black.
New Yorkers are just naturally.
No one's.
New Yorkers are naturally unhappy.
No one's feeling that, bro.
Rats and shoulder to shoulder. They are naturally unhappy. They don't like anything.
Bro. Let's
let somebody else get in.
Yeah, let's open the conversation here, because I know Gail, she's not going to be able to be on the show with us the whole time. So let's just say I'm more on the side of EJ here. Hatton is the past. If you're going to bring anybody, bring Joshua, because he's the present and the future. But yeah, back to this presser, and particularly what went on this evening. And I'll reiterate again. So what if it's memorable? If it's memorable and it's because of this nonsense? No, that's not acceptable. So again, I'm just going to open up for anybody here who wants to comment on the presser the past 3 days, and particularly what supposedly went down this evening.
Well, I viewed it all. I've seen every minute of all three, plus several of the post-fight or the post-presser public event news conferences, which were held, by the way, outside the screaming and yelling. The first one, I think they were just getting warmed up. Yesterday, yes, it devolved to a lot of trash talk, but there were moments of wit yesterday. There were a few, and I don't think it crossed the line too much. It towed the line, it got right up there, but it didn't cross it. Today, it was a crass, ugly, unnecessary event. It fell flat on both sides with most people. It was disrespectful to all of the elements involved. The fans who had to sit there and wait, the news media who are working professionals who, you know what, if you in your job showed up to a meeting 2 hours late, you don't think you get your butt paddled or get fired in front of an important client? Well, these guys kept a lot of professional media waiting. And yeah, there's a lot of bloggers and YouTubers and this and that. But when it is your job and you've got to sit there and do your job every day. This is not fun. This was a very bad day today. Very bad. Lots of things are memorable, but they're memorable for the wrong reasons. You see a police shooting video, that's memorable for the wrong reason. You see an accident, memorable for the wrong reason. 9/11, memorable for the wrong reason. That's what happened tonight. And everybody needs to sit down and regroup in a serious way tonight after this absolute horror show that went on that no one seemed to be able to control. And from a production perspective, if they cannot produce the event itself on August 26th any better than today, they're in huge trouble.
Can I make a quick point? Because everybody's seen it, like I guess one of the big thing with Conor McGregor, I'm tired of the war on men. Conor McGregor made a sex joke, and but if it was Orlando Cruz that made some homosexual joke, nobody would be fussing. If he would have told somebody of the other party, and I'm gonna take your bodyguard, your big bodyguard Floyd, and I'm gonna do this to him, nobody be fussing. But Conor McGregor make one sex joke, and the war on men starts all over again. It's not good enough.
No, let's clarify. The joke was not a sex joke. The joke
wasn't.
Racist.
What he got?
It
he
was
went
a racist
with it.
joke.
What they asked him about race. He's been saying he calls all of the.
They didn't ask him. He volunteered it.
Let me defend it. He called everybody in the UFC's fault. What I hear, boys. He said, "Dance boy." Okay. If he is being racial, I don't know. But most people saying he's done that to most people. They asked him about it, and he's not the type that's going to say, "Oh, I'm sorry." Oh, no, he's going to give you the shit.
Let's not get off the subject. That is not what took place today. What took place today was an incredibly crass, disgusting, racial, so-called joke that was an insult to nearly every thinking person on the planet.
Yeah, it was. I didn't attack it with me.
You want your children to hear that kind of stuff, you got a problem.
And he said it, Scorsese, after he's claiming that he's half black because of the size of his penis. And then gyrated. Really?
Yeah.
That's his problem. That's his problem. He thinks black men have big penises. That's his issue. We know what he watched.
The problem is the way he's depicting black folk in a certain narrow context. That's the problem.
He doing in the sense he ain't a politician. He's a simple fighter.
It is
ignorant.
Exactly what it is.
Not a simple
And you know
what?
It's the war.
Scorsese, are you waiting him to use the N-word?
He can't say a sex joke with something else to it. But if it would have been the other way around, nobody would have said anything. Nobody would have said.
Let's put it in context. Let's put it in context. He had already been accused of being a racist, which he denied. And then he goes out and does this. Let's think about the thinking process of a man who'd already been warned that people perceived him in a certain way, and he decided, oh, let's double down on it today.
And just like Kovalev was wrong for that back and forth fake Twitter conversation with Ward, but training him in a narrow context, he was wrong in what he did tonight. You're gonna talk all this mess about Kovalev and rightfully call him out.
Kovalev is not near the show.
Pass for what he did tonight? Nah, bruh.
Kovalev not near the show. Kovalev put a gorilla on a thing. I didn't see Conor do that. That was not a joke. That was nothing about that. He said you look like a monkey,
it
like a gorilla.
It doesn't have to go to the extent of the gorilla to be problematic.
Joke.
Tonight, what he did was problematic.
Joke. And they said if I'm so racist, Conor saying, okay, if I'm racist, but I have black women fans, how am I racist? He's answering the question the best way he can think. He doesn't believe he's racist, or he would have probably said it.
That's one of the dumbest excuses I've ever heard.
Yeah, you talk crazy.
If I didn't like white people, I would have no issue saying it. I believe Conor McGregor is 100% a real person. If he didn't like black people, he would have said it. He ain't.
You're crazy, man. Because you're crazy, man. Like this stuff you're saying is crazy. And and the thing is, they were disrespecting women as well. Like Every minute I'm saying bitch, bitch.
Yeah.
I was like, nah.
That's
I'm
my
not.
point.
I
That's
was
my
like,
point. If he would have disrespected a
nah, bro.
heterosexual male the same way, no one
Nah,
would have said
nah.
nothing.
It's too
A
much. It's
bull
too much.
against
It's too
man.
much.
No,
What girl said? What girl said was? What girl said was 100% right. Crash, and he said it was embarrassing and it bombs. That's it.
Can I
It
say
bombs.
something?
What you like? That's what you call. That's what you call yourself. Low place. You like all that low shit. The shit was garbage. The shit was
Yeah,
bad, bro.
let's
You know it is.
let's
You know that's why you call yourself low place. You like all that. You like all that grimy shit. That shit was grimy and it weren't good. Yesterday was fun and it was witty, like girl said. Yesterday went too far. If you like that, I understand. But this is what I'm going tomorrow, and I'm kind of thinking, well, London is the type of place where we stiff upper lip. That's how we are over here. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you how it is, and that shit, they're gonna cut the mic on that joint right there and lock that thing down because that stuff ain't going on. They ain't getting on over here, bro. That ain't getting out of pocket out here. I'll just let you know. But the Irish fans will be coming over and they'll be looking at that. Listen, it's gonna be interesting anyway. So
let's get
ahead,
Bo. Let's get Bo and Daniel and Jacob in this conversation. Unmute your mic, Bo.
Oh, okay. Look, here's the reality that I think we all have to understand. If you had a problem with Angel Garcia, if you had a problem with Oscar De La Hoya and the racist emails, if you had a problem with Kovalev, regardless of how you try to dress it up, a monkey in the contents and the reference of a monkey is still a monkey. You can put a dress on it, it's still a monkey. You can leave it butt naked, it's still a monkey. And
Who
we
did he
all know
call a
what.
monkey?
Wait a minute, stop. Let me finish. And the content is still there. Regardless of how you say, well, it wasn't as strong or it wasn't as forceful or what we believe, or whatever. It doesn't change the reality of the fact of the perception. And if people are angry and upset at what Conor McGregor did, regardless of how you try to do it, because he has black male fans. Well, Kovalev has black fans. It doesn't change the fact that some people still think he's racist.
He called somebody a monkey? Did he
Wait a
call
minute.
somebody a monkey?
I was quiet the whole time.
Yeah, let him finish.
Let him
Let him
speak.
finish.
Let him speak.
I just want to know, did he call somebody a monkey? I didn't miss the
Dude,
part.
let him speak, man.
He said,
Mute his mic.
he said, dance monkey. He said that.
I didn't hear that. I'm sorry. I didn't hear that.
He did, but let him speak. Let him speak.
Okay, but my point is this though. We live in a society where unfortunately that's the kind of shit that people feel that sells. Now, if I am Anthony Joshua's promoter, I'm not putting him nowhere near this. I'm not, because this isn't about, at the end of the day, this isn't about boxing. This is a money grab. So I'm not shocked by how either of these guys are behaving, because why? They're trying to make money. They're trying to make money. This isn't about a fight. This is a money grab. And that's how they're treating it, like it's a money grab, because like said, it was the worst out of all the three. And I'm with EJ. I think they're running out of material. But at the end of the day, is anybody really surprised Conor McGregor? He's been getting a pass on a lot of borderline stuff he's been doing
Yes, he has.
that we vilified Floyd for, that we vilified Adrian Browne for doing.
That we vilified Hopkins for doing.
We vilified Hopkins for doing. He's been getting a pass on it. So today he's been getting a pass because of where he's from and the sport that he's in. Well, now it's crossed over into our backyard and everybody got a first-hand look at it, and it translated differently.
Yeah, and to your point about him having black friends, Tyson Fury also has black friends, but it wasn't right for him to say that Anthony Joshua was an Uncle Tom. So miss me with the black friends argument. There have been too many examples here and abroad where folks with quote unquote black friends can say something out of pocket. Miss me with that. That's a ridiculous argument.
Can I make a point real quick? Let me make something clear. I promise you all here that I didn't hear him call anybody a monkey, and I'm gonna make a.
Yes, he did.
No. Let me tell you how I didn't hear it. Because when he was saying, he said send something to 50 and tell him Pablo sent it. I didn't. Everybody went rockets, and I pressed the back button. Like, well, what did he say? I rewinded it, and then when I try to fast forward the live, maybe that's when he said something about monkey. Is that when he said it? Because that's I really skipped back.
He said it. Yes, he said it. He said it. He said it before, Brian. He called Jose Open, you little monkey. He was on the build up to Jose. He was calling him a little monkey all the time. He's been doing it regularly. So when Michael's saying it ain't like he's just putting it out. He said that he says that quite a lot. He was darts me, Floyd. He was telling him darts me, go on darts. That them sort of things what you're doing, you know, it's like they're borderline stuff like, and now it actually crossed over. Now your people looking on Conor. It was for the first time people actually started booing him. That's when he got him. That's at the time he actually passed the mic and came off the stage.
And
because he realized he went too far.
He said, quote him exactly. He said, "Look at those little monkeys dance around."
What was that at? What was this at?
This was yesterday.
I missed it. I was entertained by the day. I promised the guy if I would have heard that, I gotta do well on that part. If you take out the part that I didn't hear, now I kind of agree with what y'all saying because I didn't hear this part.
Talking about Conor telling Floyd, "Dance around for me, little boy. Dance around for me, boy." No. That's why
that's things he said to other people as well, what I'm hearing. And I don't watch UFC, so I depended on the people that watch UFC, and they said he's done that with them as well.
But they're always going to defend him because he's UFC.
Possible.
Yeah, it was bad because Conor actually tried to fight Floyd. He tried to knock off Floyd's hat. It didn't work, right, in one bit. And then he bumped Floyd. And that's why the security kind of felt like, you know, he's crossing the line. So they felt like to protect him. That's, you know, that's their job. That's what they're paid for. And boy, like I said, that one word they surrounded them and made us to let them know you need to behave right here because Floyd has the power. In 2 seconds, he can click his fingers and the security, the Great Wall, they'll be around you and they're ready to beat your ass, boy. They're ready to beat your ass. I tell you, it's a messy situation. I tell you, and see you coming tomorrow, it might get messy as well. It might even get worse. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. It's bloody fighting.
The only pushback against what you're saying, EJ, and I agree with you. UK wouldn't put up for that. You also have to put in mind the context of a certain particular media that's talking about this here. If this was another media avenue, I would argue they wouldn't put up with it as well. But because of where it's being broadcasted and who it's being broadcasted to, unfortunately, he's given a pass with this. Let me go to Daniel and get his insight on all of this.
I just had one question. Gail said something about they had the media waiting for 2 hours.
Yeah.
What was the excuse? What was the excuse for them waiting 2 hours that they ever say?
From what I understand, there was absolutely no excuse whatsoever. No apology, no nothing. They didn't just keep the media waiting. They kept every single person there waiting. The event was supposed to start at 3:30. They didn't even arrive in the arena till a little after 5. They started, with sort of the pregame stuff, the announcements, the thank yous and so forth, which aren't going down very well. Steven Espinoza was just booed out of the building. Leonard Ellerby didn't do a whole lot better. And then they finally, and Dana White, to his credit, Dana White and Leonard tried to keep the media busy by doing one-on-one interviews. But, at some point they've said everything they can say. And why were these guys late? It seemed to be, a little one-upsmanship between them. Oh, you kept me waiting a few minutes yesterday. I'm going to keep you waiting longer today. Well, I'm going to keep you waiting longer today. So, EJ, pack a lunch because you might be there a while tomorrow.
All I want to say, brother. EJ.
Oh, hey, you know what, girl? Hey, thanks for the heads up. I'm like half an hour away. If it goes overtime, I think I'm still covered because I could walk home. It's only like 30 minutes walking. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna pack a lunch. I'm gonna go to dinner, get some eating after the weigh-in, and I'm gonna be good. Thanks for the advice. I'm definitely gonna take on board.
I take some supplies, emergency change of clothes, signal flares, just in case you might be.
Take a little bag.
What is the time? What is the start time tomorrow? The published start time.
It's 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
Over here. So
all right.
Because I think they were trying to start at 7. I think because Toronto kind of started a bit late, but it wasn't too bad. But I think they were trying to make it the same. But in my opinion, I don't understand. It's a world tour. But, you've got all the American cities and then you're going to come to London. I was thinking this is hard because, obviously you got the time delay, sleeping patterns. It's rough. I think that's quite rough, actually. I think in terms of world tour. But, hey, it's living up to it. But right now, coming to London like now on the back heels of this, I don't know if it's like the hottest because people were selling tickets, right? They were supposed to be free. People were selling tickets for like 10 grand, but now I think where they might be worthless, mate. People was that like, I don't really want to be going to that sort of event. It was they bought the hype from Toronto, you know.
And people can, say they're selling tickets until I actually see a bill of sale. I'm not sure anybody was really buying. But we don't really have to cry a river for these guys. They're traveling in private jets. They are traveling very comfortably. They're not crammed into a plane like we are. So I'm sure they traveled in pretty good comfort. They're being taken care of. They'll be spruced up. They'll plenty of sleep. They only got one more stop. They can suck it up, and then they can all go home and go training or whatever they are going to do. I do think when we start reading the coverage, the actual written, thoughtful coverage reflecting on this tonight from a variety of perspectives, it's going to be very interesting to see what sort of blowback, what sort of reaction, and what sort of well-meaning advice is given about what transpired today. I think it woke a lot of people up, and there is a silver lining to this. It was a cold slap in the face to a lot of people who thought this was all just fun and games and harmless, and it's not. Words aren't always harmless.
Gail, I'll go to you, Daniel. But first of all, EJ, I want to say, don't let him off the hook tomorrow. Gail, I'm listening to this, and you and Bo will know where I'm going here. This is turning into Holmes and Cooney 2017. It really is. I'll go to you, Daniel, your insight on what transpired during these past 3 days, and particularly what went down this evening.
Man, where do I begin? Because last night I was already pissed off with this bullshit. But first, they could have made an easy excuse. You could have just said the LIRR was stuck. And people would
I heard both had traffic issues. They were stuck in traffic. One report was saying that Floyd was out in the Diamond District buying jewelry. I don't know if that's true or not, but also heard a report that both guys were really stuck in traffic, heavy traffic. So,
well, they could have made up some excuse other than to keep people waiting that long. We understand those are diva moves you're gonna make like that. Brooklyn is not the place to do it. You can do it in Manhattan. You don't do it in Brooklyn. Not when you're that close to Brownsville. Now, where do I begin with it? Tonight was just straight buffoonery.
Epic.
On all fronts. Now, Scorsese, you remember okay, I'm going to go with you first on this one because you're excusing a white man who has been accused of being a racist piece of shit to tell a black man and call him boy.
Remember, I didn't hear the monkey part until right now.
Oh, but boy.
Remember, I didn't hear the monkey part.
It has this, no, not the monkey part. Boy, just boy. I'm Latino, and I know damn well not to call a black man a boy. Because I know what it means. And sure as hell, Conor McGregor knows, but I understand UFC fans offended, but let's look at the UFC fan base. Let's look how they grew. It's mostly, to put it blunt terms, a white man's sport.
Look at the owner of the UFC, Dana White, and his sordid history.
Yeah, there's that. Like I said, of course, they gravitate to that because they'll defend the guy who does that. But now you're in a domain where the majority of the fan base is Black, Latino, and Asian now. It's a different game. And you can't pull the same bullshit that you can. Now, from a showmanship aspect, I'll say that each night has been a showing that they're maybe getting the vibes that they mean not as many people as they thought are probably going to buy this, especially after they put the Maypack price on this thing. Maybe they think, oh, we don't think it's going to sell. It might not even crack 1 million. So we have to up the ante. We have to up the buffoonery. But Conor, unfortunately, yes, has been accused and has made statements in the past that has put him on Front Street. He's been able to get away with it, like I said, because of the nature of the UFC fan base. Now, but like I said, now you're into this world. Now you're in a world where I'm looking at the panel here. There's all of us here. There's one most Latino, me. We have a half Latino, half Italian in Jacob. We have a half black, half Cuban in Bo. We're black and of Jamaican heritage in EJ. A black man in Mike. And the only white person here is Gail. This is pretty much telling of the boxing fan base. That's what it's become. Now, you're stepping into this world where we kind of understand the bullshit that you normally can get away with doesn't fly. And it's not going to fly here. You can imagine the articles that are going to be written. You can imagine the discussion. Bomani Jones apparently had a pretty good time discussing it because they were white. There were apparently white UFC fans that got angry at him for discussing the racial aspects of what Floyd was talking of, the buffoonery that was happening. In all reality, it's just to sell us. Remember, this is just to sell us a glorified amateur sparring session. That's all it is. You're selling us an amateur boxing sparring session.
It's technically an exhibition. It's really more of an exhibition.
I'm even calling it a sparring session. Yeah, I'm calling it an amateur sparring session. You're selling that for $100. And your only hope, apparently, from the way this is shaped up, is to piss off as many black people as possible so they'll buy the pay-per-view so they can even out the people that want to see Floyd be knocked out. Does it have to go to this level? No. Now, I don't know what's going to happen in London because it's been a while since I've been in London, but I sure as hell I agree with Gail. I sure as hell don't want Anthony Joshua, Gail and EJ, I sure as hell don't want Anthony Joshua near this. I wouldn't even want him in the same city at the moment. If they ask about Joshua, just say, oh, he's in Liverpool, mate. He's in Liverpool. do something like that. And you can't bring out Ricky Hatton to this. Like somebody mentioned Ricky Hatton. Why are you going to bring Ricky Hatton to that environment? I understand, like I said, I agree. I understand if it's Manchester, but not London. And the sad thing is, though, guys, as bad as this tonight was, I have a feeling that tomorrow's going to be worse. Because each day, McGregor and his crew up the ante. And they may feel like in London, I'm technically in home court. I'm in Europe. You're the visitor, Floyd. I can get away with crap now. If it turns out any worse tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised if the public backlash has this sparring session canceled.
You know what, Daniel? And excuse me for interrupting. And this is to what EJ was mentioning earlier, how they wouldn't have it. You watch if it goes down tomorrow the way it went down this evening. Been here.
Ooh, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near
exactly what EJ was mentioning, and how the dynamic of the UK media is, the London media especially. Yep. Correct me if I'm wrong, EJ.
Floyd already did it in the UK though. He already showed it.
No. That shit ain't flying over here, bro. just let you know that ain't happening over here. That stuff they're talking is not happening over here. They can't do that, bro. They're not having it. You see London people, yeah? They'll riot the place down, man. I'm telling you. They'll tear the place down. They'll go off. Listen, he's already... I saw the New York crowd decided like London as well. They looked at him and they said, who's this dude? I'm telling you, at that point when he said that, I saw that it was a complete switch in the crowd. They were still trying to cheer, but it was like, nah, not really. So now, people in Ireland are gonna come over. They want to see McGregor, but everyone knows what they just saw there. So now we're thinking, is he gonna keep pushing the envelope on that with that shit? And then is Floyd gonna continue doing what he's doing? I earn more money than you. We're not on the same level, yeah. But it's like right now it's losing its luster. And I knew yesterday, Toronto, that Floyd had nothing left. Not Floyd, Connor run out of material because he's done his stuff. He said you can't read and yeah. But after that, well, you can't keep going back there. So, in my opinion, if that kind of thing happens tomorrow, don't be surprised if there's riots, man. It's like, nah, man. I'm telling you, riots and they'll shut that thing down. London press is different. So different. You remember you're dealing with England over here. We're proper ordered and respectful in it. So we don't like to have things coming down where it's going to embarrass the Queen. Yeah, we have Queen over here. It's not like America. You have a president, we have a Queen over here. We don't like that sort of thing embarrassing the aristocracy. You know what I'm saying? Even though I might come across like common, you know what I'm saying? There's quite posh people and they're like, ooh, that's awful. You know what I'm trying to say? That's shocking. In fact, hideous. They'll come up with you know that Piers Morgan, he'll be all over this stuff. So I'm just letting you know.
How are you gonna go from suited and booted in LA and Toronto and talking about how well dressed you are to come out in a fur coat, shirtless, and I don't know what kind of pants he was wearing? How are you gonna make that drastic 180 turn?
Bipolar psychopath, bipolar fighter that don't care what nobody think except for what he think. That's what it is, man.
No,
It's not like me. Floyd didn't come up off of like me and love me. They both taking the same path, man. Floyd did to me. Floyd, what he did to Ricky Hatton, you're gonna see it all again. If they accepted it then, they're gonna accept it now.
No, well, I'll tell you why they did it. I'll tell you why Conor probably felt he did it. That neighborhood in Barclays is mostly Russian. But he forgot, and he probably thought that all the hipsters took over Brooklyn because that's supposedly the mindset of people that don't live near New York City. Brooklyn ain't only Williamsburg. Ain't only Williamsburg. You are pretty close to Brownsville if you're by Barclays Center. So it's not that much of a drive, not much of a train ride. So that was a different element. That was some if it was genuinely miscalculation on their part, and to say, oh, New York, oh, they're gonna be gritty, they're gonna be grimy, they're gonna accept this. No, we're not.
It came off as appropriation in the grossest way.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm not a New Yorker. I'm a person from Miami that lives in New York, but I understand. But I've lived here long enough to understand that shit doesn't fly. Like a lot of people in Brooklyn are mad that people when they mention Brooklyn, they just think of Williamsburg now. They just think of hipster land, and that's what it kind of felt like with McGregor's doing. He was doing, oh, I'm a hipster land. Let me act like a hipster. And that crowd reaction let him know real quick. No, you're in Brooklyn, not Manhattan. You're in Brooklyn.
Let's move on. And
thank Christ.
Last week we were supposed to talk about have a mid-year report of the sport. I want to do it right now, and I'll just open it up and please give as short as answer as possible because we went a long time on that. And I just had to vent after what I read and what I saw. The clips of what I've seen. I've continued to see clips of what we've done. Is just no, that's just unacceptable for me. But let's go on to some more positive stuff, real boxing related stuff. Mid-year recap of the sport so far in 2017. Been a very good year so far. Just going to go around here and give short as answers. People, please give short an answer as possible. So far in 2017, what has been your fight of the year?
Heavyweight division, can't pronounce the dude's name, the guy from Poland and Brazil.
Joshua Klitschko, yeah, y'all know you talk about the Nigerian guy.
No, he is not.
No, he's not. But EJ gave the right answer because my choice is Joshua Klitschko as well.
There absolutely cannot be any other answer but Joshua and Klitschko. No.
I have another answer.
Really?
I really thought the Gonzalez Rugdesaev fight was really good.
Bo, your fight of the year so far for 2017.
Well, I'm gonna go against the grain on this one. My fight of the year was me and Scorsese on your show.
Good one, sir.
Touche.
I didn't pick mine on like big name precedent. I just thought the Ugando, I think that's how you pronounce it in Brazil, they just never stopped. It was just that it was just a pace for heavyweights that you don't see. I had to go there.
Daniel.
Joshua Klitschko, because that just wasn't a fight. That was just an event.
And a fight of significance, which plays into it.
Fighter of the year in 2017. Anybody?
Andre Ward.
I think it's going to be Joshua, especially if we have a rematch and he wins again.
EJ, who's your fighter of the year so far for 2017?
Yeah, Joshua. I got Joshua.
Scorsese?
Damn, they changed my whole mind, man. Klitschko a whole lot more proven than Kovalev. And then he got off the canvas trying to fight. He showed even more proof that he was something real that night. Yeah, Joshua, man. Shit.
Bo?
You know what? I'm gonna surprise everybody here. If he becomes undisputed at 140, I'm going Terrence Crawford. He beat Felix Diaz, who was a tough competitor, just clowned him. And then if he does the same thing to Ndongo, I'm gonna go with Terrence Crawford.
Your fighter of the year for 2017, Jacob.
Ward. I said Ward already.
I'm going Joshua here. Biggest event of the year. The way Joshua came back after getting knocked down and was dog tired at the end of round 6. For him to make the adjustments he made and to seize the moment, to sense the moment, and to hurt and take him out. He came away before he was big, but big of an unknown. After the fight, he looks like not just the future star of the heavyweight division, but the future star of the entire sport. Knockout of the year in 2017. What's your pick so far?
Garcia versus Zlatikanin, whatever his name is.
Zlatikanin.
There you go.
Yeah, there's some really good choices in this category.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Lemieux Stevens.
Shit, good Benavidez. That Benavidez will pass on Porky Medina.
That was a good one too.
Yeah, we'll pass. Well, that was bad, man. That guy's bad, bro. That guy's bad. I need to interview you back about him. That dude's a problem.
I told you, EJ. Yeah. We try to tell you. Bo, your knockout of the year so far.
Oh man. Wow. My knockout of the year is like when we talk about knockouts, we talk about when a guy is stretched. I mean, he's down, he's unconscious. The crowd is going crazy. You call it in the doctors, the medical team, and all of that. So there's one I gotta go with. I gotta agree with. I think Jacob said I gotta go with Garcia and Zeke.
I'm going with EJ and Benavidez because it signaled the arrival of an emerging star. It's not just the win, it's not just the knockout, but what that knockout could possibly signify moving forward. So I'm going with Benavidez and his stoppage over Porky Medina. Okay, upset of the year for 2020.
Hold on.
I'm sorry, Gail. I'm sorry.
So on my short list, I did have Garcia. I did have Lemieux. I was surprised no one mentioned Charlo over Hatley.
Oh, damn it, Gail. That was me.
Oh! But that's not my choice either. That's not my choice either. They're on my short list, but that's not my choice either. My choice, Ray Beltran over Marcelo.
Okay.
Good
that
one.
Was a knockout with some real meaning.
That was a good one.
And Beltran been knocking fools out lately. He's been putting them flat on the back.
And I could not have been personally happier for Ray Beltran. it was terrific. But we have been blessed with some great knockouts this year.
I saw two. That I was refreshing on the top knockouts. It was two, but I couldn't put the name to the two fighters. And they bodies done some weird, like it was two different knockouts, and I'm like different from Bo. I like to see that body. Like last year, I picked Thomas Williams Jr. Adonis Stevenson because it looked like he pantsed him. Just looked like somebody just pulled his pants down when he knocked him out. But it looked like, I like to pick by the body modification and sleep and all that. So for me, I can't remember the first two. It was lower level fighters, but they were brutal. Then Charlo came up, and it was next. That leg of Hatley did something, and then he just went straight to the face. I got to go with that one right there.
Honorable mention, Colazo Vasquez too.
Yeah,
I forgot about
another
that
good
one.
one.
I'm gonna throw in a new category here. This wasn't even on the docket. Brightest prospects.
Did you do yours, Mike?
I said Benavidez over Porky Medina.
Okay.
I'm with EJ on this one. I'm with EJ on that one. New category here. It's not even it wasn't even in the docket. Brightest prospect you've seen so far this year.
I am really enthusiastic about Ryan Blue Chip Martin. Really enthusiastic. I like what I see from him. I like his attitude. I like his work rate. And he is right there in the model of a Errol Spence or a Crawford as a young American star.
Yeah, I got Benavidez or I got Tank Davis. Either one of them two. I'll go with them two. Tank Davis or Benavidez, man. I got my eye on them two. Them two are a problem, and they're gonna be around for a while. So yeah, any of them. Even though he's a world champion, I still see him as a prospect. Just went the other day and Precious went over. What's his name again? Oh, that guy. But anyway, he came to England and whooped Liam Walsh's ass as well. And Benavidez knocking at Porky Medina, like them two, I'll say top prospects to me.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Benavidez. And, he has the potential to be the youngest current champion if he wins a title at 168 here pretty quick.
Daniel, your brightest prospect so far in 2017.
Oh, it's a tie to me technically, and I'm carrying it over from 2016 a bit. It's between Benavidez and Erickson Lubin still to me, because Lubin has been staying somewhat active, but what Benavidez did to Porky Medina, something that neither Badu Jack nor James DeGale were able to do. That's an arrival there. And Gail mentioned the age. Yeah, the kid's only 20.
Barely. I think he might still be 19. I take that back. He might be 20 by now.
But is he a prospect or a contender though? Right now, he's a contender.
He doesn't have. Does he have a belt?
He doesn't have a belt yet, but
there you go.
Yeah. I would call him a contender. I would say more contender. He is.
He blew right past. He blew right past prospect.
No, because he's still a prospect in a way because he hasn't gotten the title shot yet. Now, Callum Smith's fuckery is going to let him get a title shot now, which I'm surprised actually we're not talking about, but I think I understand why. But yeah, Benavidez is a problem. And with Lubin, like I said, if you give me Jared Herb versus Erickson Lubin, I have not seen anything today that'll change my answer from last year, and I said I'm taking Lubin. So those are two, like I said, very bright prospects. Big Mexican that could probably do something in the weight division that no Mexican has done. And Lubin, like I said, it's just fortifying what's already a stacked division.
Be it in Chicago, in the Shabo, or nationally, or even worldwide, your brightest prospect, the best prospect you've seen so far in 2017?
Without a shadow of a doubt, man, is David Benavidez. He's the best. If you look at the guy he beat in Porky Medina and who Porky Medina is, and the quality of opponent Porky Medina is, and how hard it is to beat, that Porky Medina give everybody the fits, and the way that Benavidez not just so much as fought him and boxed him, but he beat him down. He did, like you said, he beat him down to let everybody know that, you know, hey, he gave the whole 100. Everybody 168 has been put on thorough notice. So David Benavidez, I can see people saying Lubin, Erickson, Lubin, but you know, I'm also, and this is gonna be kind of weird, man, but I've been kind of impressed with light heavyweight Bivol. I've
Damn,
been
Bo.
impressed with him a little bit.
Oh, wow, man.
Been impressed with that guy. So,
Damn.
Babel and Bostic, those two are a problem.
Well, he
yeah,
didn't.
Damn, man.
He
if I had one guy, it's David Benavidez.
he
I
didn't
mean,
give his
y'all
he
just
didn't give
do
his
this.
he didn't give his
Oh,
he didn't give Bivol his prediction as his
yeah, but
outright
that
prediction. But
that
you can
that
say
happened
Cuban
to
if you want.
Gail didn't give Charlo, but she gave him a shout out. Then Bo gave a shout out. Y'all got me twice, but yeah, I'm gonna say this. The 168-pounder Benavidez. You right, Gail. I did when he stepped up and he got the Benavidez fight. I felt like coming into the year he was no longer a prospect. It was make or break you contending for a title. So I kind of took him off that list. But Bo spilled the beans, man. Bivol, yes, yeah. I was questioning him in one fight. I said, but can he go backwards? Dude took a step back, and that's how he KO'd the opponent. I got one more question. What about right on the inside? But then again, that's a tall fighter. He ain't got to be there. He got some young feet. He got time to learn that if he ain't got it. I like that dude.
Um, I'm going with Benavidez by default. I was going to go with the Japanese fighter Higa, who was unknown until he recently won the world title, WBC flyweight version. He's coming. I'll just say that he's coming. I'll just say that he has the potential to be the best in the division and move up to 115 and do damage. That's how much of a puncher he is. But I'm going with everybody. The general consensus here is Benavidez. For him to do what he's doing right now at such a young age, it's Trinidad-like. Young man, even younger body, skills, power. He has the will, and he has that it factor without even speaking. You know, if you know what I mean. He's going to do damage at 68, and I just think in a couple of years, once he really grows into his body, he's going to do damage at 175 as well. Fight you looking most forward to for the rest of the year?
Stevenson Alvarez for me.
And for those who don't know, Donna Stevenson will finally make his mandatory defense. I heard you on the show last night. He will finally make his mandatory defense against Alvarez later on this year. What
How
fight are
about
you looking
Chocolate? Okay, all right.
You next, go to Gail.
It's a tough call, but I think it might end up being the Gonzalez-Rumvisai rematch on September 9th at the main event of the Superfly card.
Yeah.
EJ?
That's what I was just Gail done me, boy. I was just gonna say that as well, man. That's my guy right there, man. That fight there, that's it. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, most people would say Triple G and Canelo. They would, you know, you could say fight you're looking forward, but like I like that fight. I really enjoyed that fight, and I expect that you know they're both gonna give it again. So you know what you're gonna get, hopefully. So with Triple G and Canelo. Yeah, I don't know. It could be one way, it could be a blowout, or Canelo could, do something. But definitely, the wrong side fight and Chocolate, absolutely.
Yeah, well, we're going to get to see him at a news conference before the Berchelt Miura event on Saturday, so we'll get to size him up a little bit.
Bo, the fight you're looking forward to the most for the rest of the year?
Wow, there's a lot of fights. Garcia and Adrian Broner and Dongo and Crawford. But if there's one fight I'm probably looking forward to most out of this year, it's oh man, that's a hard one, man. Because there's so many fights, I'm looking forward to all of them. You know what? Come back to me. I'll
go back to you, Jacob, and then Daniel.
I think it's hard to pick one fight because that Superfly card is so damn good. I think I'm kind of looking at just that night of boxing to really put a spotlight on the lighter divisions. But if I had to pick one fight on that card, it's going to be the rematch between Roman Gonzalez and Rogan Zavai.
Daniel?
I'm going to the little guys. Bantamweight.
Damn.
Shinsuke Yamanaka versus Luis Neri. Because Luis Neri is the truth.
Love it.
I'll go back to you, Bo, since Daniel stole my answer. Going back to you, Bo.
Shit, Daniel might have got both of us. You know what? In a surprising attempt, I'm gonna go with Scorsese. Adonis Stevens is finally
Oh,
by
dear.
Alvarez, so I will give him his name back. He is no longer Adonis Chickenson, bitch made, running from everybody, opponent Stevenson. He is now Adonis Stevens. So I'll give him his name back.
Mike, can I give you one you won't like, but I got a reason for it? Just a runner-up. You won't like it, Mike, but I'm going to say George Groves impressed me so much the last time he fought. And I seen this man on the canvas with crotch, knee bent, lost to another champion, got 3 losses, and finally got a belt. I want to know if this man going to put it on Jamie Cox and then go on and win that damn 168-pound tournament. So I'm looking forward to see if George Groves can just say, it's okay to lose. It's how you bounce back. That's what I want to see.
That's a very underwhelming choice, but I'm going to give you that.
Well, I'm impressed that this panel, as wide-ranging as we are, really narrowed down to just a couple of fights. It shows how damn smart we all are when it comes to real boxing.
Daniel stole my...
Diaz versus Anthony Durrell. I'm kind of looking forward to that one because that's a big test for him as far as that's a big step up fighting somebody like Durrell, in my opinion. And if he can do to Durrell what he did to Medina, that's it. I mean, I don't see nobody 168 challenging this guy at that point.
There is a little runner-up because it just got made. Because Hickey Butler's my boy when it comes to certain fights. He's getting another title shot at 108.
Yep, and he's going to the Philippines.
Yep, and if he winds up winning there, that could be a nice little matchup for Higa.
Too small. He's too small, Butler. He's too small. I'm not even sure he's going to handle Melendo in the power. Well, let me take that back because that was a fluke when he got against Yagashi. But
that's what I mean.
In terms of fighting Higa, Hickey Butler, he's skilled, but he's too small. He's too small. Fight you're looking forward to most? Daniel basically stole my answer here. Yamanaka Neri. Close second is Bud and Ndongo. But yeah, Yamanaka Neri. That's just one hell of a fight at 118. Toss up 50-50. But yeah, I might have to get up early to watch that fight live on some stream. Arguably the 2 best bantamweights in the world right now. No disrespect to my guy Tete. He's right there in the mix too. But yeah, style wise, just a hell of a hell of a matchup, and that fight is going to be kind of a tie-in to my prediction for the rest of the year. But I'm gonna leave that and say that last here, and I'll just go to everybody else. Their predictions. Be unboxing Nostradamus, if you will. Your predictions for the.
Are you gonna do upset of the year?
I forgot about that. Upset of the year. In a lot of estimations of particularly casuals, they will say Horn and Pacquiao, but I get a sense that a lot of folks here will not say that. So yeah, upset of the year for 2017.
David Hay versus
that was mine.
It has to be David Hay versus Tony Bellew, Tony the Bobby Bellew. That shit was funny as hell. We come there with his one leg. Oh, listen, David Hayes still trying to say he wants to come back and fight. He started a new promotion. He's got Joe Joyce. He's got MVP. He's starting with Richard Shaper. So he's still trying, but he's still trying to say. But that has to be one of the biggest upsets I've seen. Our people talking mad shit, and obviously Jeff Horn. So you can't go too far with them two. It has to be even there too. So that's my opinion.
I had the same one, and even though I picked Bellew in that fight.
Well, I'm gonna say two good ones, and I just also want to put out there that didn't I sort of like tell you, Daniel, that they would beat Hay, and then I told the people that Horn would beat up on Pacquiao, and yeah, them two, yeah, them right there.
Gail.
Bo, brace yourself. Just fair
Oh dear,
warning.
I think I know where she's going. Don't get
Yeah,
mad,
I think
Bo.
you don't. Do I need to say it?
Don't get mad, Bo.
Yes, say it. Say it.
Do not. I will defriend you. I will defriend you.
I'm lost right there. I'm
Second
lost.
round, seventh round knockout. I was ringside. That's all I'll have to say. That's it. I'll leave it there.
I'm lost.
Yes, spare them. Don't. No need to say the names.
I'm not grinding it in. No, absolutely not. And we'll see whether it sticks this weekend.
Gamble.
Don't get cut. You want him
It,
to cut you off?
it rhymes with bamboo.
You want him to cut you out, man?
I'm trying to spare the man. I really am.
All I will say in that situation is, la tormenta ya no es la tormenta.
I'm just, and hey, I feel for you, man. It was shocking. It was shocking. It shouldn't have happened, and it did happen. Go figure.
He pulled the Ohara Davies.
I'm afraid here, but I'm going to you, Bo. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. I'm just the host. But yeah, upset of the year for 2017, Bo.
My upset of the year. Now, when you say upset, you mean a fighter that was supposed to have lost and won, or do you mean a fight where you might have thought somebody won?
Either or.
Okay. Then my upset of the year is Dennis Shafikov. That's my upset. That dude beat. In my opinion, he beat Rance Bartholomew, and he also beat Robert Easter. Then they didn't want to give him his props either. Or 120 to 108. Come on, man, you felt that out when you was having dinner with your kids or with your mistress or whatever the fuck. So that's what I'm gonna go with my upset. I hate how they scored that, and that's what pissed me off about it.
That's the best Eastern European fighter in boxing right there. Good pick, Bo.
I'm gonna give mine before I go to Daniel. Hey Bellew is the pretty popular choice, and not too many folks thought Bellew had a chance, but I'm going overseas to Japan specifically. We just mentioned him and talking about Hecky Butler, Milan Malindo, defeating Akira Yagashi for all my smaller weight fighters out there, smaller weight fight fans. And it wasn't just how that he beat him; it's the manner that he beat him. Malindo wasn't regarded as a big puncher. And yet he blew Yagashi out, knocked him down 3 times, first round KO. No one saw that coming. EJ, you cover boxing. We've done commentary on smaller weight on the little guys on your channel. Who saw that? So I hear you with Bellew and Hay, and I hear everybody else's choices here. But for me, I'm going with the surprise here. Akira Yagashi, not just losing, got blown out in Japan. And then finally, I'll go to you, Daniel, your upset of the year for 2017.
Let me just think. Let me think about this one. Let me think. I would say Bellew Hay, because we didn't give him a chance. It is the fight where we found out that Bellew has the home system head. But if we're going to count like scores into it, if we're really going to count scores into it, I would have to say Peter Petrov and Terry Flanagan. Because Petrov beat the living daylights out of Terry Flanagan. And those scorecards were so fucking terrible. I don't know what about these Eastern European fighters. They make you want to fight in their fights. But nobody seems to want to reward them.
I think you got to call these last two the robberies of the year. And that's a legit category. I give a CJ Ross award every year for robbery of the year, and those would be right there.
but if you're gonna do robbery of the year, that Gamboa and Castellanos was a robbery, man. They let that boy cheat and all of it.
Well, you know, those two categories sort of blend in the middle.
No.
Robbery of the year and upset of the year, right?
Bo, if we're gonna go robbery, if we're really gonna go robbery, then your boy Bartholomew's a thief.
Nah, man, that was a close fight. That was a very close fight due to the body work. He landed some harsh, but I'm not taking up for him. But I want to say the upset of the year is changing. Period. Conor McGregor will be the upset of the year at the end of the year. Just leave it there. Just leave it there.
Your boy Bartholomew didn't look good that last fight.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
I admit that now.
It was a close fight, but no, he fought very stupidly, and he thinks he's some fucking He-Man, and you know
he fought like he didn't have a brain that night.
Well,
there you go.
Bo, didn't Bartholomew's people pretty much just say, yeah, we know we got away with one?
I cannot confirm nor deny that last comment.
Let's move on to prediction time. I'll go back to you, Bo, and you can begin this. Your predictions for boxing for the rest of the year.
My prediction for boxing for the rest of the year is what we're seeing in 2017 is the effects of not getting enough in 2015, and we're finally seeing things come into fruition because of the Mayweather retiring and the Pacquiao retiring, and then the low year of 2016. So now we're seeing everybody wants to prove that they're the star, they're the man, they want to step up and take over a spot that's been empty. So 2017, in my opinion, like I said, I give it an 8.5. I would be okay somebody giving it a 9. And we still got more fights to come. Like we still got this we got that middleweight cruiserweight tournament still going on. Of course, we got Gennady Golovkin, which him and Canelo Alvarez, which is probably from a financial standpoint be very, very big and could possibly, you know, some people say it could save boxing. I never knew boxing was dying, but from a financial standpoint, can do good. You also have, you know, we are in 3 separate weight divisions. We are 1 fight away from an undisputed champion in light heavyweight, 140 pounds, and it was one more division I forgot. But we are
middleweight.
Right, in middleweight. We are literally 1 fight away from undisputed. And if we can get just one of those this year, that would be, I mean, we got one, but we can get another one this year, that would be awesome. So, I mean, my view of 2017 is I think we'll look back at 2017 like we do the 70s and the middle 80s and all of that and say, you know, 2017, from 2010 on, 2017 was probably a golden age doing that time of era between 2010 up until 2020.
Daniel, your prediction for what's going to happen the rest of the year?
Well, I stole Bo's thunder. I stole your thunder. And now you guys rightfully stole my thunder. I think in this banner year that we have, we're going to finish with at least one completely unified champion. I'm looking at Omaha for that. Because unfortunately, the other one might not happen until next summer.
EJ Boxing Live, your predictions for the rest of. Oh, I can't see EJ left. He had to dip out. I go to you, Jacob. Your predictions for the rest of the year.
Yeah, Bo kind of summed it up. I mean, it's been a fantastic year, and to comment on, you know, to answer his question, the people that said boxing is dead are people that don't follow the sport. Boxing will never die. Boxing's alive and well. I think my prediction of the year will be, I think we'll see a women's fight headline a big card on national TV.
Nice. Scorsese, your predictions for the rest of the year.
Well, I'm gonna keep it simple on one. I predict that Golden Boy will give us a unification bout at 130 if they fight or win. Well, period. Whoever win, I think they can get a unification bout at 130 at this week's fight, and I'm hoping it's Corrales versus Berchelt. And I made a video kind of pertaining to what Bo was talking about, where he was saying boxing and how it's kind of getting younger. Like the pound for pound list is really going to solidify because we've been having to do some guesswork on that pound for pound list. I get it. Kovalev was a nice fighter. Some people had him at 3, and I was always questioning. But then he beat a 50-year-old. Was Pascal really worth putting it there? And now that's kind of those losses right there is solidifying what people need to be. Canelo Golovkin going solidify who need to really be there. And you don't have the Cottos sitting on there no more. The Bradley's sitting on there no more. The Klitschko's out the sport. Sergio Martinez is gone. Those names that just sit on the list, and it looked like we just had. Remember, Danny Garcia had one of the best resumes, and he had like 3 wins, and he only got to like 9. Kovalev had 2 wins, and he was at 3. Yeah, this year, early next year, we're gonna keep getting solidification of where people really at. That's
Well,
what's good this year.
well, far as I'm concerned, it's already solidified. It's been solidified for almost 2 years now, year and a half. There's only one choice right now.
You talking about
SOG.
number one?
I'm
I'm just
talking.
talking about the list all in general, where we really are.
Or
I can agree with some of the ones though, like the top.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you. Gail, your predictions for the rest of the year.
I do think we'll have a unified champion, and the first obvious one is Terrence Crawford. I do think we'll have a second division unify. Not sure who that'll be. Jacob, I second your prediction that we'll have a major women's bout headline a card somewhere here in the U.S. on premium cable. We could get featured. Could be super. I predict before the end of the year we're going to have a breakout star in a fight featuring Naoya Inoue after he gets through his little sort of tune-up fight here in the Superfly tournament. We're going to see some of those guys banging heads, and it's gonna. I will give a generic prediction that we will only see more and better appreciation for the smaller weight divisions in the United States, and I think much of it will come out of the Superfly tournament. I also predict that both the super middleweight and especially the cruiserweight tournaments coming up are going to reinvigorate both those divisions, but particularly the cruiserweight division is going to get new life. So really, boiling it down, I'm going to say for one single prediction, we're going to see some real resurgence in 2 completely opposite divisions, super flyweight and cruiserweight, before the end of the year.
I have a few. One, Bud Crawford will beat Undango, and then at the end of the year, you will hear an announcement that he's moving up to 147.
that's a good one.
You will not see Keith Thurman fight Errol Spence, not just this year. You won't see them fight. You won't see Thurman fight Spence in 2018 either.
Yeah, well, actually, we will see them fight. If you play the video game, then you can see them fight.
Chocolatito will beat SSR. Inouye will impress everyone. Neri will beat Yamanaka. And then what you will see is Chocolatito fight Inouye. That WBC belt will become vacant. Estrada will win it. And that all that will lead to an eventual Naoya Inoue Luis Neri showdown sometime late 2018.
Oh no. That may be too much. Or you're gonna turn this into boxing diabetics there, Mike.
That sounds fantastic to me.
Oh no, it's great, but it's kind of like giving sugar to a diabetic. It may be too much of a good thing.
No such thing as too much of a good thing.
You mentioned unification, Scorsese. I wouldn't be surprised if Lomachenko bypasses all that, moves up to 135 and fight either Mikey Garcia or Linares. 2017 will set up an eventual Anthony Joshua Deontay Wilder showdown, late 2018.
Ooh.
Is that even a showdown? That's like nothing. I ain't gonna go there. Point to the easy word. I'll be pointing to Alabama. That's all I'm saying.
Well, at least the fight will happen, unlike
Yeah.
some other people's.
Better than that farcical matchup we talked about for the past 30 minutes earlier during the show.
Oh, no. I don't know. Okay. At least kind of took the challenges down there in the MMA. He's at least taking the, Wilder.
He's doing it for money. Come on. What are you talking about?
Man, Connor is 28, confident, in shape. Man, he can't do no worse than some of the real boxers done. Some of the real boxers couldn't land a fucking finger on Floyd. That's what it's gonna be, man. If he even get close to touching him and hurting him, he gonna have a Shane Mosley clip forever.
You falling for the banana in the tailpipe, bro.
Let's move on. Let's move on. We spent too much time on that.
But yeah, those are just a few of my predictions. I would give a women's prediction. They may shock everybody, but hey, I'm not going to go there yet. I'm not going to go there yet.
You're not going to say Shields about to lose to this woman, are you? That's not what you was going to say, right?
No, I'm not saying she's about to lose to this woman, but if she keeps up at the rate she's going, she is going to lose eventually.
Oh, I'm about to say this woman she's fighting. Lord, jeez, man.
Christiana Hammer
and Katie Taylor. I'll give a woman's prediction. By the end of the year, you will hear word of Cecilia Brackets fighting in the United States in 2018.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think that will happen too. Good one.
It would be about damn time if it happens. Yeah.
That's my woman's prediction. That's my woman's boxing prediction right there. You will hear word of an eventual Cecilia Brackets to fight in the United States sometime in 2018.
Counting on you, Spinoza. You've been doing it.
It'll be showtime for sure. There's no doubt.
Listen, man, 2017 been a blessing, man. It really has been. I mean, think about it. Adonis Stevens finally decided to be standing up and not sitting down.
Bo does it again. Zing!
And I think we may end the show on that note.
Damn, we didn't talk about the fights.
Wait, what about the triple header?
Oh, I'm sorry. Damn,
we have fights to talk about.
quickly. Still got a little bit of time here. Let's talk about the fights this weekend. I'll just split it up between everybody else since we're a little bit pressed for time. There's so many fights. I'll go to you, Daniel. Miguel Berchelt fighting Takashi Miura. This is part of like a triple header, if you will, on HBO. Berchelt coming off of his win over Vargas, fighting Miura, who fights like a kamikaze. This is gonna be balls to the wall, no doubt about it. A lot of blood gonna be shit. A lot of blood, gonna be a bloodbath basically. At StubHub, I believe. HBO. Your thoughts on it?
It's at the Forum.
Yeah, it's at the Forum.
I'm sorry, you're right.
It's at the Forum, and the Aztec and the Japanese blood gods are going to be very, very pleased because it's a good description. Berchelt has power in both hands, really good technically, and Miura exemplifies Japanese Bushido. You have to kill him to stop him. But I think Berchelt's going to take it in. Like I said, you saw other good cards. Castellanos is getting fairly good reward fighting Corrales, and the light heavyweight might actually steal a point because that's for a WBC title. That may be one of those two guys might become the challenger for the winner of Stevenson Alvarez.
I'll go to you this undercard bout. On the undercard of Berchelt, Miura, another junior lightweight title bout. Scorsese, one of your favorite guys, fighters, Jezreel Corrales fighting. Let's just see the guy who beat Cuban dude, who I'm not going to pronounce, not going to say his name for fear of Bo cussing me out. Corrales, Scorsese. The question is for me, is he as good as he looked in his wins over Uchiyama, or was Uchiyama just a fighter that was made for him? Are we really do we know for sure how good Jezreel Corrales is as a fighter?
I'm saying if he wasn't as I'm gonna answer simple and not in a smart way. But if he wasn't as good as he looked, he wouldn't have looked that way. The man gonna make several people have to adjust to what they fighting. Yeah, he gonna make some mistakes, but he moved that head, great feet, can stay moving. When you get close to him, he ready to punch. And he obviously was hurting Uchiyama with something. This guy that he's fighting is made to get knocked out with him because what I saw from Castellanos, he liked to get in them trades. Man, Corrales gonna be all over the place trading with you. You don't want to do that with him. It's just not gonna happen. He'll trade. He can sharpshoot. I like the little dude, man. I really want to see them give him that unification. I think he can get the stoppage in this fight.
I'll go to you, Jacob. Also on the same card, same bill. Joe Smith Jr. fighting Sullivan Barrera. For me, I feel Barrera is the better boxer. The problem is Smith can really punch, can really crack. So I could see a scenario where Barrera is really having his way outboxing him, and he could get cracked and knocked out. I'm going with Barrera here by decision because I believe he's a better overall boxer, but Smith, at the very least, has that puncher's chance.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be there live. This is a sneaky good fight. I really think so. I think that you hit it on the head. Barrera is I think the more technical, skilled boxer. Smith is more of like kind of the power puncher bruiser. And we've seen Barrera get dropped against Ward, and I think twice against Shabransky. A fight that he ended up winning, but by stoppage. But I mean, he can be hurt. But we've also seen, Smith in that first round with Fanfara get a little buzz too. So, I think this is a tough one to pick. This is a really kind of a toss-up because if Barrera makes a mistake and Smith capitalizes on it, then it could be nights out. And I think he's got a lot of momentum going with him. He's going to be returning to the site where he, knocked Hopkins out of the arena or out of the ring. So I'm gonna say Smith by stoppage late.
Oh man.
I'm going back to you, Daniel, on this fight. Omar Figueroa fighting Robert Guerrero also this weekend. I can't remember the venue. Crossroad fight for both fighters. Last leg. Figueroa.
Long Island.
He's been winning the tone local boxing, but he hasn't looked good. I don't think he's been in the greatest of shape. On paper, based on style alone, it should be a good fight here. But my excitement level, it's just okay.
I'm kind of there in the same area, Mike, because it's a fight between two guys that have been off for a while, and it's a fight between a guy in Robert Guerrero who probably stepped up. Who probably stepped up and jumped one weight division too much, versus an Omar Figueroa who just can't decide what weight division he wants to fight in. So it's a crossroads for them. It's kind of dumb that this is the main event in New York. It should have main evented in Texas or California. But
they don't want to call as a referee.
Yeah, but that's true. That's true. But I do think probably this is Guerrero's truly last chance because Figueroa, he's given the benefit of the doubt based on his inactivity, but we've seen him regress. Unfortunately, we've seen him regress ever since that fight with Bert, ever since his fight with Floyd.
I'm going to you both to these last two fights on the undercard of Figueroa. Guerrero. You have Marcus Browne fighting Seanie Monaghan. Also in London, Chris Eubank Jr. fighting Arthur Abraham. We can talk about Browne and Seanie Monaghan first, Bo. For me, Monaghan is getting his shot okay, but am I wrong for thinking that Browne is not just going to beat Monaghan, but he's going to body him here? And in the Eubank situation, um, am I wrong in thinking that Eubank Jr. will win, not only win, but win by a fairly comfortable margin?
No, actually, you're not wrong either. Count. Listen, Sean Monahan is making his PBC debut, and when I heard who it was against, I'd ask myself one or two things: either Al Heyman don't like this guy, or somebody is what's the term Biggie Small said? Somebody got him gassed up, and so and that's
Gassed
somebody
up, about to get passed up. Yeah,
right. Yeah, somebody got him gassed up. Listen. I'm not going to say that he doesn't have a chance. He has a chance. But if you look at skill set, if you look at just superiority, even if you look at experience and levels, everything favors Marcus Browne. So I just think, man, Marcus is going to do this guy. And as far as the other fight, the funny thing about that is the last thing you lose as a fighter is power. And Arthur Abrams, even though he's not the same Arthur Abrams he was back during the Super 6 tournament, but he still has power. Now, he hasn't looked that good lately. So it's going to be interesting. I think Chris Eubanks, if he sticks to boxing, he can win this very easily, just like with Sullivan Barrera. And I hear everybody, I heard Jacob, and you're right. Like, if I had to pick from a technical aspect, Sullivan Barrera should win this easily. But, Joe Smith, who shouldn't be winning, does seem to always find a way to win. So, and whoever wins this fight between Omar Figueroa and Robert Guerrero, the winner to me is still going to be a loser because if Omar Figueroa win, I don't see him beating Thurman. I don't see him beating Porter.
He wants to drop to 140 if he wins.
And who he gonna fight? Okay, he gonna drop there when Crawford leaves. That's what he gonna drop when Crawford leaves because you still got Cromie, you still got Shaka Cuff, you still got Rance. So that's what I'm saying. But yeah, Mike, I'm not. I would actually say Sean Monahan probably has a 20% chance of winning. That's me being generous. But the other fight, no,
And I think we're going to close things on that note. I'm going to go around the panel here. I know EJ, he had to dip out, so is Gail, so I'll speak for them. You can follow Gail on Twitter, PR Pro San Diego on Twitter. You can find her work on Communities Digital News. That's COMM, Digi News.com. If you want to check out EJ stuff, EJ Boxing Live, excellent Facebook page. He's all over YouTube. Popular show on YouTube. He's at a lot of the fights in the UK, doing some reporting. Does amateur judging and coaching on the side, and is a basketball coach, so he does a lot. Just EJ Boxing Live, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'll go around the rest of the panel here that's still with us. Started with you, Jacob, from Jab Hook Boxing, for folks who want to talk to Sweet Science or anything else, movies as well. Let the folks know where they can find you and talk about the Real podcast I believe you're part of as well.
Thanks, Mike, for having me on the show again. And thanks to the panel. Excellent panel. I want to do a quick shout out to Gus. I know we had a, kind of a confession that came out of him, but if he's listening to our boxing brother, Gus, we hope you come back and we hope you stay with the sport. But I could be found at JRATM23. And I have a friend, James Hancock. He has a podcast. It's The Wrong Reel. They talk everything, like all kinds of movies, all sorts of movies. And so sometimes I guest host on that. But check it out if you like movies.
Shout out to Gus for Corruption in Boxing, and the door will always be open in case you want to come back on here. Go to Daniel from the Inscriber for folks who want to talk boxing. Follow you, go after TCOTS, who try to get out of pocket with you, or for folks who want to discuss the NBA, specifically the Miami Heat, let the folks know where they can hit you up.
So you can find me on Twitter at Ruckus99. I said right for Instagram magazine, and I do talk a lot about sports. And let's see, next week we're definitely going to talk about this loaded card on my own show that I have here with Joe and Francis from ForBoxingNews.com. With pretty much everyone here has been a guest at some point, and all of you are welcome if you're free.
Indeed. Go to Scorsese for folks who want to talk the sweet science. Let the folks know where they can find you.
You can find me on YouTube talking about that Superman Stevenson curse that Jacob forgot to mention when he picked Joe Smith. I don't know yet, but you can find me talking about that at Low Place, hashtag MLPF on YouTube. And I want to say if Seanie Monaghan had quicker feet, he'd get Marcus Browne held. But besides that, he ain't.
Finally, last but not least, I'll go to you, Bo, from Truth and Facts about boxing. For folks who want to talk the sweet science, follow the adventures of you and your kids, who want to find out about your apps, because you're in the app developing business. Let the folks know where they can hit you up.
Man, you can find me right here on Pound for Pound Boxing Talk, but you can also find me on my YouTube show, Truth and Facts About Boxing. Also, follow me on Twitter, capital T for Truth, _ capital F Fact Box 1. Instagram, Truth, same thing, Truth and all lowercase Truth and _ Fact Box 1. You can also find me on Daniel's show. I got to get Jacob on my show one day. He's the only one, him and Scorsese, they're the only two that haven't been on there. I got to get them on there. You can find me on The Movement with my guys, 2K to God, Twan Divine Levity from Hoop Jab and Big Cool Jasper, my partner, Crown Bernard, Main Event. And Jacob, you're going to like this. I'm going to wrap up this year as quick as I can. We saw a guy in Andre Ward showed us how he was hard-boiled. We saw other people step into punk-ass Adonis Stevens' division and show them that they can become the Raid. We've seen face-offs. We've seen Last Kiss Goodnight. We've seen Adonis Stevens go from being a man and woman and two young fools. Thanks for the memories. And finally, we end this on a good note with 2009, the year of yesterday, by us having a better tomorrow in 2017, and to Gail, who is our Wonder Woman. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. God bless. Good night.
Indeed. You were gonna say something, Jacob?
Bo is hot fire. That's all I gotta say. Bo is hot fire.
Hey, you gonna see Joe Smith reap all this what Bo is doing this weekend. Adonis didn't deserve none of. Joe, I pray for Joe Smith. Lord, I hope Joe Smith ain't hurt. If he get knocked out the ring in the same arena he knocked the man out the ring in, y'all better come back talk about that curse to me. Y'all got to. That's it.
And if he wins, are you gonna admit there's no fucking curse?
I'm not sure if he cursed yet. I'm not sure if Adonis wasted his time with a steel worker. I'm not sure, man. I'm really not sure.
How convenient for you?
I don't run the curse,
convenient.
man. I don't run the curse. Jacob, I'm gonna give you evidence of where this curse is being ran from. I'm gonna send it to your Twitter. Simple as that.
Forget a curse. Be glad he's finally fighting his mandatory.
I'm glad Elator's finally fighting him. He's the one turned the fight down in December 2016.
Yvonne Michelle hadn't turned down. That's basically Stevenson's team telling him,
"You're right.
Hey, we don't live on
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
Let's not go down this rabbit hole again. For folks who want to talk to sweet science or music or even fitness, hashtag Black Fitness, you can check me out on Twitter, Brother JR. You know what it is, at Brother JR76. As I said at the beginning of the show, if you want to find out all things about Pound for Pound Boxing Report, blog page is the place to go to. P4P Boxing Report .wordpress.com. Check the right of the page. You'll find pages and channels on Twitter, G+, YouTube, Tumblr, as well as links to where to listen to the show on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Player FM over in the UK, Stitcher Radio, as well as Mixcloud. On the next episode, we will do a recap of Berchelt, Miura, Jezreel, Corrales, and Castellanos, Joe Smith Jr., Sullivan, Barrera, Omar, Figueroa, Robert Guerrero, Browne, and Monaghan, Seanie Monaghan, as well as the Eubank bout against Arthur Abraham. And Since there's nothing really happening on the weekend of the 22nd, what we may do is skip ahead 2 weeks and talk about the boxing that's going down on the 29th. Adrian Browne fighting Robert Garcia. Jamal Charlo making his middleweight debut against Highland, WBC Eliminator. Big Baby Miller is fighting Gerald Washington. That's all on the same card on Showtime. Uh, so yeah, we may talk about those fights. Carl Frampton is making his return to the ring as well. So for Gail from Communities Digital News, for the homie EJ Boxing Live, for Daniel from the Inscriber, Hook, Scorsese, Brother Bo from Truth and Facts. I'm your host, Michael. This has been episode 175 of the Pound for Pound Boxing Report. I know things got heated. I said what I said about one Mr. McGregor, and I don't take it back. So yeah, episode 175 in the books. We will see you next time. Everybody have a good evening. Good night.
Yeah, good night. Subscribe to the show. Like it. Write a review.
Good night.
It's a good show.
Good night,
Yeah,
again.
yeah. Check us out on SoundCloud. Write a review on iTunes, even on YouTube. I appreciate that. Thank you.